Hey, thanks for clicking on my video. Seb Heslow here, and it's been about 2 weeks since I built my Ravencoin mining rig, so I figured let's take this video today to have a look at how it's been doing for these past 2 weeks. And I'm also going to tell you about the 5 things that I've learned about mining Ravencoin that sort of is a bit different to mining Ethereum. So we're gonna jump into that as well. Alright, so here we have the rig as it stands today. Now you can see I've added a few more fans on it. We'll get to that later, but first let's just have a look at our little display here and see how it's doing. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see this, but we are getting about 93.2, 93.3 megahash a second, and we're currently pulling, well, as reported by T-Rex Miner, about 540 watts, something like that. So that is a power draw of around 135 watts per GPU, which isn't too bad. I don't know if you remember when I first set this machine up, I was getting around 97 megahash a second, around there, total for the rig. But we were pulling way more electricity than this. I think we were in the like 700s or something like that. So this isn't too bad actually. So what I did was I basically just power limited the GPUs a little bit, and it's been doing really well. It's a lot more sort of power efficient this way. Alright, so I thought we could have a look at the pool for this rig here, and we can get a sense of what does 93 megahash on Raven like actually get you. So let's start over here with the last 24 hours. So in the last 24 hours we've been paid just below 170 Ravencoin, and from what I've seen this tends to fluctuate a bit. Like I've seen it as high as like 205 Ravencoin in 24 hours, and to be honest with you, this is about as low as it ever gets. I think I've seen it at 165 Ravencoin in 24 hours, but generally we get somewhere around maybe 180 Ravencoin per 24 hours. And as you can see here, like the current and average hash rates, they fluctuate a lot too. That's what you can also see here on the graph here. But as you can see, it sort of tends to lie here just below the 100 mega hash mark, right? Oh, and so I figure let's also have a look here at the total amount of Raven paid. So as you can see, we've made just below 2,725 Raven coin on this rig so far, and I looked back and I think the rig has been like actually online and running for about 15 days total. It's a little bit more since we like actually built and first started it, but the rig has not been online 24/7 because I've had to take it offline a little bit when we were moving some stuff around, and also when I was like tweaking some stuff with it. I also took it offline for a while to like see how much hash rate I would get mining Ergo on it, because I was just super curious about that. But so let's do the math real quick. So we've made 2,725, and I believe it's been online for about 15 total days. So yeah, that gives us just around 180 Ravencoin per day, which is perfect. Like that is exactly what I expected this to make, and I'm really happy about that. Alright, so now that we've got all of the statistics out of the way, let's jump into the 5 things that I've learned about mining Ravencoin that is sort of different from mining Ethereum. So the first thing is, with mining Ravencoin, you get payouts like a lot. So you know how when you're mining Ethereum, you know, the payout threshold is usually around maybe like 0.1 Ethereum and maybe 0.01 if you're on like one of those pools, right? But getting up to that like threshold for a payout can take you like 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, even a month maybe if your farm isn't massive, right? But with Ravencoin, the like payout threshold is usually around like 10 or maybe 20 Ravencoin, which means that like you get payouts like every 2 hours basically. Like the pool that I'm on, 2 miners, they pay you every 2 hours, as long as you hit, I believe it's 10 Ravencoin within those 2 hours, which, you know, we do. So we've been getting like a payout every 2 hours, like on the dot, which is crazy compared to Ethereum, when you're like just sitting and you're like counting down the days to getting your payouts. Instead, you're getting like multiple payouts every day. It's a lot of fun. All right, so for the second thing, and I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this already, but mining Ravencoin uses up a lot more electricity than mining Ethereum does. And not only that, but since it's consuming a lot more energy, you know, in the form of electricity, that also means it is converting all of that energy into heat, which we've had some of the like hottest days of the year currently here where I live, and that has not been optimal for a rig that is also pumping out like 500, 600, 700 watts of just like heat into the basement here. So that is why I've, you know, as you saw, why I've had to add a second row of fans. I can just feel the hot air being pumped out here, as well as put this like desk fan here, just like blasting these cards with you know, cold air, just to get like the air moving over the cards, really. So that is just something to keep in mind if you're looking to start mining Ravencoin. It is like a lot hotter than mining Ethereum is, which is great if you live somewhere cold or if it's in the middle of the winter, right? All right, so the third thing that is different about mining Ravencoin compared to mining Ethereum is the overclock settings. So the reason why mining Ravencoin is a lot more power consuming than mining Ethereum is because the Ravencoin like core power algorithm is very heavy on both memory and core. So that means, you know, when you're mining Ethereum, like especially on newer GPUs, you usually have to push the memory clock all the way up, but you can pull the core clock all the way down, and that not only, you know, reduces the power consumption of the GPU, but it also means less heat, right? But since the Ravencoin algorithm uses both memory and core, that means you cannot use those same overclock settings for mining Ravencoin as you do for mining Ethereum. So that is something that is different about mining Ravencoin as well. So usually for mining Ravencoin, you have to push both the memory clock and the core clock pretty much as high as it goes. And the fourth thing that is different with mining Ravencoin compared to Ethereum is that if you're mining Ravencoin, you know, solely for the like profit right now, if you're mining and looking to sell your Raven pretty much instantly, something to keep in mind is that Ravencoin is not listed on as many exchanges as Ethereum is. So for example, you cannot exchange Ravencoin for dollars or euros or whatever on Coinbase. You know, that is an example of a exchange that does not currently accept Ravencoin. So that is just something to keep in mind as well. All right, and so for our fifth and final thing about Ravencoin compared to Ethereum is that there are not as many Ravencoin mining pool servers. So with Ethereum, you know, you basically get your pick of, you know, whatever pool you have, and they'll have, you know, a bunch of different servers all over the world. So you can just sort of pick the pool you like, and you can be guaranteed that they will have a server that is pretty close to where you live, right? It is not exactly like that with Ravencoin. So while there is still a good amount of pools, those pools will usually have maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 different servers if you're lucky, and you better just hope that one of those servers is pretty close to you, because if they don't have a server close to you, that means, you know, ping to the pool, you might not get as many, you know, confirmed shares as you would like. So picking a pool for mining Ravencoin becomes less about picking the pool you like and more about just picking a pool that has a server that is close to you. But if this video has been entertaining or helpful to you, then please give it one of these. I'd really appreciate it. And what you gotta do now is you gotta click on one of those videos on the screen, because this video is over. You can also click on the picture of my face to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, go click on that next video and I'll see you there. Goodbye. Bye 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 bye.